to episode 8 of the M2 podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Mad Mike, your co-host, Mr. JK Heath, aka Kyle Heath.
Hi.
He's waving for those on audio. This is the show where we cover esports and personalities, news, upcoming games, some gaming industry related news, and technology and innovation. And it is week review. So what you got for us today,
Yeah. Week review for
Mr.
sure.
Kyle?
Review for sure. We have had some pretty interesting stuff this week. I think some of the articles are kind of oddball, but they're still interesting nonetheless. We could be talking about some new headsets that came out. We talk about some new Pokemon games on the horizon after Nintendo has just been constantly, and Game Freak especially, their developers been constantly just pumping out Pokemon content. They're not stopping this year. We talked about that. Some of Nintendo's just lineups in general for games this year is pretty exciting. We're going to be talking about Battlefield 2042, how that release has been going. Well, I guess it's been a few months, right, since release, but kind of how the dust has been settling and the how the numbers are looking. Of course, Amazon Luna as well coming out, full release in the US, and the little bit of drama to close out the show. Nothing too like negative, but just something I wanted to talk about. So, first thing we're of course going to start off with is going to be the article from The Verge about Bungie rejecting the Steam Deck's Linux software and threatening to ban any players that try to bypass the incompatibility. As I said, this comes from Sean over at The Verge. Bungie put out a blog post, I guess, on one of their FAQs, essentially stating that Destiny 2 is not supported for play on the Steam Deck or any system utilizing Steam Play's Portal Proton is the name of their OS. Not supporting that Linux-based OS unless Windows is installed and running on the device as well. Players who attempt to launch Destiny 2 on a Steam Deck through SteamOS or Proton will be unable to enter the game and will be returned to their game library after a short time. And anyone that attempts to bypass this incompatibility will be met with a game ban. This is an official word coming from Bungie. Pretty harsh stuff, I feel like. Little heavy hitting. This is apparently it says the article continues to say we've been asking Bungie for 5 months whether it might support the Steam Deck and Linux more generally, which seemed to be a reasonable ask, and they gave some points. Apparently Destiny 2 already runs on Linux. It's been known to use BattlEye anti-cheat software, and enabling that for the Steam Deck is as easy as sending an email, according to Valve, as they've said in the past. Just enabling that. And it's one of the more forgiving shooters in terms of like controls. It's been known to play well on console and PC. I can attest to that as well. For the amount I played, I started Destiny 1, I think, on Xbox way back in the day, and then transitioned to PC, of course, when I ended up getting my rig for Destiny 2. And it was always an optimized game. It ran really well for me, I think, on both platforms. So it's certainly a great. I think it's a great shooter. Controls are fluid and everything. So I don't know, a little odd, I think, kind of why they're just completely against it. But anyways, I don't know. What do you think, Mike? Does this rub you the wrong way?
It doesn't rub me the wrong way, really. I mean, these developers can do whatever they want with their game, and they can choose what platform like it's on, right? It doesn't make sense to me. I'll say that much, because it's like you can get Destiny 2 on Valve, whereas like Epic Games CEO over here is saying that he doesn't want Fortnite on the Steam Deck, which you can kind of understand, right? Because you need to buy and give more money to Valve. Where like Fortnite's an Epic Games thing, you have to play that on Epic Launcher, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the angle that I see for Epic Games, but for Bungie, it doesn't make sense to me. Like they don't give a valid reason for it, other than trying to say it's like, oh, it's an anti-cheat thing. It's like, is it though? Because it's easy to like implement the anti-cheat for your
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, that's what
And
Valve
like
said.
you said, yeah, like you just said, like Destiny 2 to me is like one of the best like optimized first person shooters I think I've ever played. That thing, like I could stream that in like ultra. I think it was the first game that I loaded up on 1440p monitor, and I was getting like over 144 frames. And I was like blown away because I needed to adjust any quality. I was like, this game is awesome. It's so good.
Yeah, like I remember I first played it. I think it may have been like the beta. I don't even think it was full release. Like I played Destiny 2 on like a beta, and I was like super impressed because like at the time I felt like, especially when Fortnite and stuff like that was out, I couldn't get a consistent like 144. Then I played
Yeah.
Destiny 2. I'm like, oh, this is what an optimized game is like. Like,
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I
maybe like I think even more comparable to like PUBG too, right? Like PUBG at the time too. I remember I couldn't on most PCs. I
yeah,
think it kind of struggled. So
it
maybe that's kind
struggled
of
on
a
console. It was like 30 frames a second on console.
yeah.
So yeah, it's very peculiar, I think. Maybe they're trying to perfect it on their own terms, but banning people for doing it for like I find that odd.
Yeah,
Because uh, is it really cheating? Like what there's got to be some like online forum that we don't know about where people are using it as an exploit.
yeah.
Gotta be. Gotta
Yeah, you're
be.
probably right. I feel like there's some underlying story to this, but
Yeah.
because they are very hard set on not allowing the Steam Deck, a portable
Yeah.
gaming device that I feel like would be great for something like Destiny. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, everything that I've heard about the Steam Deck so far and all the different reviews, it's like their only issues, it seems, is the software aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's just not polished yet, which is fair. I mean, it's a brand new device,
Hmm.
and firmware, like all the updates can come through later and fix the UI. I mean, UI is a UI. That's just code.
Yeah.
It's not like replacing the entire GPU, you know?
Right.
So,
Yeah. Valve even
um,
came out and said that they even admitted it's not really a complete experience, especially on the UI front. Like we're still it's still
mhm.
a work in progress. They were open about that. So
Yeah,
um
I'm hoping for good things, but this not being played on Steam Deck is kind of bizarre.
definitely. Yeah, here I don't know. Maybe we'll see in the future, hopefully. Because I'd love to see something like that um on like a handheld device. Because I don't, as far as I'm aware, it's not on Switch. I don't think I could be wrong there. Actually, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either. I got a Switch in the other room. I need to start playing,
Yeah,
so we can find
no
out.
idea. But regardless, I think it'd be cool to see it on the Steam Deck. So hopefully, whatever the issue is, if there is one, it gets
Mhm.
figured out at some point. They can open up the availability of that game just a little bit more. So here's the hoping. But
Yes,
one developer that
crushing
is
it,
crushing it and
crushing it.
crushing it, but I will say definitely not like super open in terms of other consoles, like having the
Oh
games on other
yeah, that's
consoles.
fair. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fair.
that's true.
But
Yeah.
Nintendo, the Switch's lineup. I know we talked fairly recently on an episode about the current direct or the most recent direct that they had, where
Mhm.
they announced some pretty heavy hitters like Splatoon 3 and Mario Strikers and a handful of others. But yeah, the lineup this year is looking absolutely killer, according to Ethan over at Kotaku, who wrote up an article essentially stating about the significance of this next lineup of Switch games and how it's especially I think the best lineup to look forward to since the launch of the console. Because like
I agree.
first year it was like it was Mario
All the
Odyssey
classics.
and like Zelda, of course, had
Mhm.
Breath of the Wild was launched. So there's a lot of different stuff, and so there is a list on the site kind of talking about the major games coming out this year. Switch Sports is coming out April 29th, which has been a huge ask, I know, from the Nintendo community. So it's coming out. Mario Strikers, the next entry in that series, is June 10th. Splatoon 3 is set for the summer. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is set for September. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope collaboration is supposed to come out this year. Bayonetta 3. The brand new Gen 9 Pokemon games got announced later on this year. Supposed to be before the end of the year. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequels coming out. There's a lot of games this year, Mike, on the Switch.
Yep. I'm big excited.
Yeah,
Like I think I need to buy a Switch because I have a Switch right now, but it's not mine. It's like it's in the house, but I don't use it, right?
yeah.
I think I need my own just so I can man, I need to start taking public transport. Just use that as an excuse, sit there on the train and just like play all the games. I'm really excited though. There's a couple of games I've been finding out that a lot of the old school remakes too of Sega for I know that's a major competitor of Nintendo or was, but like even some old Nintendo games you can get for cheap now and you can like kind of relive nostalgia.
Yeah.
So if you're like with all of this coming out, all these games, like fueling the fire at Nintendo, it might bring some like old heads back like you or I that are trying to play like some older games too. from that, like from Nintendo
Yeah.
on the platform that makes just the Switch like even more enticing to go get.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's tons of offers currently too. And I mean, like you said, I mean, there's the old I know I'm a part of a family plan, I think, for like the online service. And with that you at least you used to get like, you know, all the NES games, like the old classics, and
Hmm.
then Super NES games as well. Like there's all those that old library, which is fun. And it runs really well. I think I played like original Mario. I even played like Contra, I think at one point. The original Contra.
Yeah.
That stuff runs really well on that emulator they have. I think I even played Super Mario Bros. 3, if I'm not mistaken. Um, sorry, something along those lines. That was anyways, those at least every single game I played in that old emulator on there, it's ran great, and it's got even got saves, I think, too, in some cases, so you could save state. It's got
Oh
some
yeah,
modern features in there as well. There's a lot to play,
those are the
man,
best.
but there's certainly a lot to look forward to. I know I mentioned earlier, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet got announced recently. Those there are going to be new starters as well for those super into Pokemon. Um, and it looks like it's going to be another sort of open world um game that's going to be similar, I think, to I believe the last one was open world or kind of somewhat open world. This one looks pretty ambitious though, from what we've seen from screenshots. It's certainly going to be a huge game, I think. And it's going to introduce the ninth generation of Pokemon. So certainly, Pokemon fans have something to look forward to. I mean, we just came off two releases, recently in the series as well. One was back in, gosh, I think November, which is crazy.
Yeah.
We had one in November, and then one at the end of January. Was the last one, Pokemon. It was like Arceus or something like that.
Yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Have you had a chance to play that?
I have not, and I'll be honest. I don't know if I played any of the old Pokemon games, or at least like beat any of the old Pokemon games. Certainly
Yeah.
played them a little bit. I never really got super into it. Um, so I don't know, open world Pokemon game is an interesting take though. I think they'll be able to improve upon it, I think, with this next entry.
Oh yeah.
So it'll definitely be one to check out for sure. Um
You know, if you think about it, like Go was an open world game. So it's like,
yeah, quite literally, you know.
yeah, like quite literally, yeah. So I think they definitely have the resources and they can find the people to do it.
Yeah, for sure. That was an interesting Pokemon Go is also an interesting take, I think, on the Pokemon franchise. It's definitely there's nothing like it, right? It's kind of just like
No, I don't think.
being able to incorporate real world into a game and like meet people and like actually
Oh
go and
yeah.
visit gyms like physically is it was insane. I remember I got into that for a time. I think everyone did back in 2016. Like
Yeah,
got
I'm
into
pretty
it at
sure it
some
was.
point.
Yeah, it like if you weren't if you didn't download it yourself, you knew people that were playing it,
Right.
like that kind of thing. Yeah, it's pretty much everybody that knew about Pokemon and was a fan. They were like, we got to try it, which
Yeah.
is the majority of the planet. So,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember spending days even with my even my boy Preware, uh,
Mhm.
playing with him, just going around and like we never really like went out a whole lot, especially back then. So it's like when we got the opportunity, we had like backup batteries and stuff we brought. We went all out and we played
Oh yeah.
at a local place. And it was a lot of fun. Met some people and stuff. It was took over some gyms and whatnot. It's a lot of fun.
What team were you?
I think I was Valor. I think
Yeah, that was the Lightning, right? Yellow, or was that blue?
maybe in
I can't
red.
remember.
Trying to remember. I couldn't remember what yellow was.
Let's find out real quick.
No, Valor was
Pokemon,
red, I
Pokemon
think.
Go teams. Teams probably the way to go.
Mystic, I think that might have been the blue
Blue
one.
was Mystic.
Yep.
Yeah, blue was Mystic. Yellow was Instinct. That's right.
Instinct.
Red was Valor. I was Instinct. I
I
like the
gotcha.
name.
Yeah.
Old school Halo team, you know? Team Instinct, baby.
Nowadays, I probably would be Instinct because like yellow is my favorite color, and I don't know why at the time I think there was like someone was already on Valor or something, so I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody went with like their own friends.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure most people chose either Valor or Mystic because nobody really like cared about Instinct. It
Yeah.
was really weird.
Yeah, I
It's
got
like
that vibe.
Yeah. It's like I found instinct players who are just like, "Oh wow, that's awesome," and then like you never talk to anybody else that was instinct. It was like super rare. It felt like it was like only in like individual friend groups.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, Pokemon. Lot to look forward to this
Hmm.
year, and the continual releases coming from Game Freak. I don't know how they're doing it, man. They're doing it though.
Yeah.
Next, we want to showcase a little bit of hardware this week. We have some new headset announcements. Nothing. I don't think there's anything too groundbreaking. Well, maybe a little bit. There's certainly nothing that's like completely and utterly game changing.
Maybe
Um,
price points, I think.
yeah, yeah. So Turtle Beach announced a new wireless headset that works on PlayStation, Xbox, and more. So it is not just subject to one console. I think is the interesting takeaway from this. Um, it's the it's a it says it's very similar to 2020's Stealth 600. In that headset, Gen 2. This is the Gen 2 Max Stealth 600. The $130 wireless headset. And it's essentially comes with a dongle that allows you to add wireless capability to anything that has USB-A port. So you can plug it into a PlayStation, plug it into an Xbox, a PC, and you can work wirelessly from wherever. Um, and I thought this was an interesting take personally because I know I have like an old pair of Astro 850s, and I know when you bought these, especially when you bought a particular model with the base station, you can either go Xbox or PlayStation. There's like not really both, um,
Yeah.
which is rather unfortunate. I mean, there is a workaround for it if you have like an audio interface or something that you can direct line into from the base station, and then somehow connect the console to. You can make it work with whatever, but I always thought it was kind of like it was kind of frustrating, you know. You spend like 200 something dollars on a headset, and then you can only
Yeah.
connect to like one console guaranteed. So
Super frustrating.
yeah, and then so seeing Turtle Beach come out with something like this and allow you to be able to connect to whatever is it's very cool to see. And it's similar to another announcement, which is the SteelSeries Arctis 7 Plus was also announced this past week. Um, I've always admired SteelSeries headsets. Every time I hear about them, especially like the wireless headsets, it's like the best on the market, you know? I think definitely when my Astros kick the bucket, I am going SteelSeries more than likely. Uh,
That's what
whenever
I got
that
right now.
happens. Yeah. Yeah, and so I mean this, it's a perfect thing for you, Mike, because you've been using SteelSeries for a while. What are your thoughts on SteelSeries in general?
Well, so I have the Arctis Pro, not the wireless one.
Mm,
Typically, so when I play competitive games, I always like to do wired. Um, because when you do wireless and you go to LAN centers and stuff like that, the wired headsets and uh controllers are required because when you have too many Wi-Fi or like Bluetooth connections going with like the wireless devices, they interfere with one another, and then you get really bad latency, like lag input or interference to the point where like you can start controlling somebody else's controller if you're wireless. It's crazy. I've had it happen before. It's awful. So because of that, I got the unwired or the non-wireless one. I got the wired version. And to answer your question, I love it actually, like a lot. The sound is absolutely amazing. They're I feel like they're comparable to I have Astro A40s from 2010 that I've used for a very long time. When Astros first came out, they like prioritized like performance, and they've kind of strayed off like in recent years, recent generations of Astros. I've just noticed that like the performance metrics aren't as good. Whereas these Steel series that I got like returned me back to that form of like having more of a frequency range, faster response time, and just overall good hardware. The only thing that I'm annoyed with the current Arctis Pro is that the USB hub that they have when I'm plugging in and I'm basically it gives me it's kind of like the Astro Mix amp, but it's just one little doggle where I can go either to game audio or chat audio and I have to manually set it within my PC. I wish I got the like I think it's called Game DAC or Game Pack or Game DAC DAC where it gives me the extra like optical audio port in the back just like the Astro Mix amp. It
yeah.
was like a but it's actually cheaper than the Astro Mix amp. Because if you get the Astro Mix Amp now, same situation. You either get the Xbox version or you get the PlayStation version, and uh, it doesn't necessarily work with the Xbox Series X because they don't have optical audio. You have to use a USB connection, which is inferior to optical audio.
Yeah.
So it's like that's an Xbox problem, not an Astro problem. It's just yeah, to answer your question, SteelSeries is a great brand. I have not had any issues with my headset. Um so I would definitely recommend overall.
Yeah. Heard a lot of audio engineers and people that specialize in audio, whenever they like compare gaming, quote unquote gaming headsets, SteelSeries is always up there in
Oh
terms
yeah.
of quality, which so it makes sense. Anyways, they announced the Arctis 7 Plus, and from what I can see, from the article, it looks like they offer a similar type of wireless compatibility, I think, with anything. It comes with a little USB-C dongle, but included in the box is also a USB-A adapter. So it's USB-C
Mhm.
to A, so you can plug it into anything at USB-A. Which is great. I mean, I think I didn't realize. I think these headsets, especially like the slightly cheaper ones, because this one's 170, I believe it's priced at. Um, yeah, 170. I mean, this is for that price point. Getting wireless. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And like, I think just having that like freedom was I felt like something that like I would assume would probably come at some point, and maybe this has been out for a while, and I'm just like haven't realized, but it's definitely cool to see, at least from my perspective. And this also, I think, what one advantage this SteelSeries headset has is since it's USB-C, comes with the USB-C charging cable and everything, and it has fast charging too since it's over USB-C. So I think it's like 15 minutes can give you like a few hours in a
Yeah.
good case of battery life, which is great. I mean, especially something you have to plug in. I think one of the big selling points for me on the 850s is the ability to just set the headset on the base station and it charges without having to plug anything in. I've always like loved that. And SteelSeries, their Arctis Pro wireless has, I think, an
They
even
do that as
better.
well.
They have an even better system though than the Astro base station, and the fact that it's a swappable battery. So you undo the cup on the earbud, you
Yeah.
could take out the battery, plug it into the base station, charge it, flip out the second one, and then plug it in. So you always have a charge. You're never out of battery. Um, I'm not sure how long the battery life is on those batteries. I think it's at least a few hours. Um, but I mean, just the fact that you don't have to like, because like there's been times too where the Astro base station can be very finicky at times with like
Yeah.
charging
Connection
properly.
issues.
Yeah, like you'll set
Yeah.
it on and it just be barely off. Or like sometimes like my catch ups on my desk walks all over everything, and then I don't realize my headset's unplugged until like 5 hours later when I need it, and it's like I have 20% left. Charging USB isn't an issue. It charges fairly quickly. It's micro USB, but still not terrible. But I mean, little things like that. It's I think what gives the Steel Series their edge, and that's probably why I'll end up switching at some point. I'm just gonna ride this headset out because Astro. I think overall the audio quality in Astro is it's still really good. So I mean, I don't think I'm missing too much on that front between the two brands, but this is very interesting to see, and I hope I think there's even with like the Pro series or like the Pro model, you have like an optical port on the little like base station that comes with Steel Series, so
Yeah.
you can still connect, I guess, to whatever console, but um
Yeah, you can. It's well, it can connect to everything but the Xbox Series X. The Xbox Series X, the only like station that you can connect to is the Astro Mix amps. And it has to be Gen 2, which is Gen 2 and newer. So the brand new ones obviously. But the Gen 2 is the white mix amp. Um from there they have a firmware update that will allow you to connect to it. But anything older than that, you have to buy a new one.
yeah. Um
So
yeah, that's kind of a bummer. But I mean, I know there's also I haven't tried any of them, but I know Astro even comes out with like a I guess an audio splitter of some sort where you plug an HDMI into a box and the
oh yeah.
HDMI at that, and then it comes with an optical port so you can add it to a console that may not have it. Um,
Yeah, it's a audio extractor.
yeah, that's what it's
So
called.
if Yeah, it does a HDMI pass through and strips the audio from it. Well, obviously the audio keeps going to the HDMI if you're like plugging into your TV or whatever has like speakers. But yeah, you get most of them either have the coax like 3.5 millimeter auxiliary, or they have the like you said, optical port.
Yeah.
So optical audio is the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you that freedom. I've heard good things about it, I think, for the most part, especially the Astro one. It still allows, I think, 120 frames at 1080p, which is pretty good. I know a
Yeah.
lot of those like cheaper ones don't really have that. So
Yeah, you got to be worried about the degradation of quality. I saw one review, and not to put anybody off that's listening to this, but definitely do your research. That one of them overheated and melted, and set like they put it in the wrong order. I guess I'm assuming, I don't know what they did, but put it into the audio extractor and then into their capture card, hard like internal capture card, and it melted their capture card and destroyed their motherboard.
oh, there's no way, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so bad.
that had to have happened after like a 24-hour stream or something, but like I saw that one review and I'm like, nah. Nah. I'll just plug in head like earbuds.
Jeez, yeah, no. Definitely not. So yeah, new Steel Series Arctis 7 Plus is coming in at 170. It
Yep.
offers 30-hour battery life too.
Yeah.
Pretty article, which is fantastic. That's twice the length of this one, even though it's I don't have to plug anything in. That's insane, right? In its own right.
Yeah.
I also noticed in this article too. I love one of the points that they label as a con of this headset. It's no RGB lighting, which I find
Yeah.
hilarious because like one, like you're never gonna see the RGB like if you're playing a game, right? You yourself are never gonna see it unless you
Got
take
the
the
look,
headset
man.
off. But like, can't. That's stupid. And then like maybe some other people will see it every now and again and be like, "Yo, your headset looks cool," but like that's it. Like that's the only reason to have
Yeah.
it. It's like so pointless on a headset. Like on a PC, even if it's like in your tower, you can see it. It's keyboard, you can see it. You look at it every day.
Yeah, you use it. It's
Yeah.
like it's right there, but you don't have eyes. Like you're not an alien with like eyes
Like
out your head where you can turn it around on yourself. Like
exactly, man. Like it is the most pointless con I think I've ever read. Um,
yeah, but here's the thing. The reason why is it's supposed to, like SteelSeries is a gaming brand, right? Like in air quotes. And whenever something says gaming, like in the name, always has LGB or RGB.
yeah.
Always. Like every time. Like you want a gaming graphics card, right? It's gonna have all the RGBs. Like they do it
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, I
It's
mean that's
ridiculous.
true. That's true.
So
Yeah, I mean I don't know. Same thing with like RGB in general. I think like I got a Glorious Model D wireless. And it has the same RGB as my current mouse here has. Looks great, right? I
yeah,
went
it
to
looks good.
use it. I use it as a daily driver for work, and when I was first using it, I had the RGB on, but it like ate the battery like crazy. I think I was only able to get like a
Oh
day
yeah.
or two of charge before I had to like plug it in. Then now when I don't run it, like if I just run it without RGB or anything like that, it charges. The mouse at least charges quick, but it's like
Mhm.
I get like a week out of it probably, where I have to actually plug it in without RGB.
Yeah.
So it's like at that rate, I don't know. It's like a distraction almost. I just like, whatever. I just use it without it because it
That's why I
just,
use wired everything.
yeah.
Like
I don't know. Yeah, like for work, I think for work it's like it's nice to have like less wires on your desk, but that's why
oh
I
definitely.
normally
Yeah.
normally go wireless. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like the RGB thing, I certainly like I went all out on like my first PC build, and I'm most certainly not going to go all out on my next PC build because I could care less about RGB at this rate. Like it's cool, I guess, on a keyboard and everything, but I'm not. At least not right now.
I,
Trying to RGB my setup.
I will say one of the coolest things I've ever seen in gaming, and I still like it doesn't get old to me, okay? When I'm playing games like Apex is a good example, or when I'm playing Halo Infinite, my my LEDs, my RGB for my Razer like setup because Razer is integrated in both those games, it like corresponds to the gun I'm holding, what's happening in the match, and it's like, let me turn out all the lights and just like one single monitor, and I'm over here. I pull out the sniper, and like when I run out of ammo in the sniper, everything turns red.
Yeah.
And it's like when I switch to a different gun, it'll turn like yellow. Like, this is so sick.
Yeah,
You know?
that is really cool. I have to give him that.
Yeah.
That's it definitely RGB, especially in like a keyboard and a mouse, can really bring your immersion up. So that is definitely a
Oh
positive.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely I need to start using that more because I have a Corsair keyboard, and I know Corsair has integrations too with certain
Oh yeah,
games,
they do.
so I need to take advantage of it.
Yeah. I mean, I just downloaded the right when we were setting up, I was downloading the SteelSeries app that like just got pushed to me. Obviously, I like plugged in my USB. I'm connected to the internet, so it probably is like, yo, you should download this.
Yeah,
So so I downloaded it real quick and it gave me the option to adjust all the different RGBs, and I'm thinking like the different frequencies, the colors, if I want to keep it like whatever, like whatever pattern they have. I'm curious if I can integrate it or sync it up with my Razer. Cuz that from a gaming perspective, like let's say Steel Series, which I'm pretty sure some Steel Series sponsored in like one of these pro leagues and one of these big games, right? I don't know which game it is or what like team it
it
is.
was well
But
Razer integrate. They recently partnered with Optic. If that's what you're thinking of, they partnered with
well,
Optic.
Razer, yeah, that's right. I'm talking about like an overall league, like maybe ESL kind of
Oh
thing,
no, yeah,
partnered with Steel
it's
Series. So like all the
I see
pro
what you're
players
saying.
when they get up on main stage use a certain headset with their like that setup.
Mhm.
This would be something that like any league should do. But that would be cool too, if you have everything set up so like turn out all the lights in the arena and the LEDs on like the side
Yeah,
correspond to what's happening on the game,
yeah,
you know?
that'd be so sick.
That'd be pretty like there's so much they could be doing.
Yeah,
And we are very pro RGB right now.
yeah.
That's what I realized.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny to think about. You go to a tournament like if a team wins or something, you get all the graphics and the flashing lights, right?
Oh yeah.
But like imagine like all the keyboards like full brightness, like just like go up, and then
Yeah.
the headsets like all. Yeah, that would be so sick.
Yo, imagine if somebody wins like a championship round, like just final second, absolutely clutches it up, and for whatever reason they have like an overdrive mode on all the LEDs, right?
Yeah.
And it's like everything turns off, and then they turn those LEDs on, and it's just like from the heavens almost, but from the keyboard shooting up and lighting
Yeah,
up the place.
man, God, that'd be sick.
Oh, yeah, I got all the ideas.
Hit up Mad Mike. Yeah,
Yes, please.
business email in the description.
I just want a new headset. Yeah.
So, new SteelSeries headset, new Turtle Beach headset. It's cool to see Turtle Beach too. I think still in the market. I know back in Xbox days, it's like all I used. So because I couldn't afford
Yeah.
Astros, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
cool to still see
You
it
got what
around.
you paid for back then, but now apparently Turtle Beach is really good.
Yeah.
So I have to give them a shot because last time I used Turtle Beach was like 2008, 2009, and I hated them. Like I'm not gonna say everything, but like it's been 11 years, almost 12. I'm not gonna roast them too bad, but I did not like it.
Yeah,
So I think they're worth going back to because they're obviously successful. $130 for a wireless headset, that's worth a shot to me.
it's worth a shot, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's set. There is a date. I believe it's April. It's in the article somewhere. Yeah, April 3rd. That's when it'll be available for
Yep.
pre-order. So April 3rd of this year. It says it's
Expects
expected
to release in May.
Yep.
Mhm.
Releases in May. Pre-orders April 3rd. So if you want to check it out, cheap wireless headset, cheap option. They said they also announced a Stealth 600 Gen 2 USB. So I guess a non or wired version. Oh, actually, it says wireless headset that drops the Xbox compatibility. They show the Xbox USB dongle,
Yeah.
so it doesn't have that. Still a wireless headset though for 100. Not too bad. Company claims it offers 24 hours of battery life for charge. Full claim. So, not bad. Not bad.
Okay.
Comes in black, white camo, or red. Like, there you go. Get a red headset.
Maybe.
Hmm. Look forward to new headsets. But
Yeah.
we have some unfortunate news next. Kind of unfortunate
Yeah.
news.
This is crazy. Crazy news.
Came across the desk right before the show. I want to talk about it. Battlefield 20. This is an article coming from Callum over at Tech Radar
Tech Radar.
Games.
Mhm.
He said Battlefield 2042 player count drops below the 9-year-old Battlefield 4 on Steam. just can't compete with the game that was released in 2013 and it came out November of last year.
That
Mike is
hurts.
head in
I'm
hands
face
right now.
palming, dude.
Article says that the player count keeps falling and has now dropped so far that the number of active PC players of DICE's latest multiplayer competitive shooter is lower than that of 2013's Battlefield 4. A slate of technical glitches, connectivity issues, and gameplay bugs which have riddled Battlefield 2042 since launch continue to drive players away, even as DICE admits to improving the game through ongoing updates. According to SteamDB, and it goes on to talk about, I guess, on February 28th, the numbers were pulled at 11 a.m. Eastern. The player count was 1,734 players on the latest installment, while a slightly higher 1,794 was on the predecessor. And then 4 hours, yeah. So 4 hours later, they checked it, I guess, later, I guess, to get more peak times. 2042's player count had risen to 2,082. However, Battlefield 4 is still surpassing at 2,177. I don't know, Mike, you're the Battlefield fan, I think, out of the two of us. I love the game. I played the beta and it was okay, right? But
it was a buggy mess.
Yeah.
Um, just this is like, I feel for every Battlefield fan, like diehard Battlefield fan, like they've only played Battlefield, like they love Battlefield 4. I mean, look at how many people are still playing Battlefield 4. There's been 2 other Battlefields after that.
Yeah.
3 now. 5, 1, and now 2042. And 2042, like, I feel like Obi-Wan screaming at DICE. You were the chosen one. Because 2042 it was like it had so much promise. It looked so good. And they launched it incomplete. A buggy fueled mess. And all the player base is basically like, yeah, we're over it. That's basically what they like they just basically said, we don't trust you anymore, we're out.
Yeah.
And that is crazy. Less than 2,000, man.
Dude.
I went to a high school with more than 2,000 people. Like, what? What? Like, come on, man. The majority of the players that play Battlefield are on PC. So
Yeah.
people might say, oh, yeah, well, what about the console numbers? It's just like, what are you talking about? What console numbers?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm big mad.
Ugh.
But I did. Here's the one like good thing that we can get out of this, right? DICE is a major company. Battlefield is a major IP. Everybody knows those two, right? So them failing this hard, because this is a failure. Make no mistake about it. You fail in this hard, people are going to notice, especially other developers, which might make them hesitate with this whole like, oh, it's okay, we'll just meet the deadline, release a broken game, we'll update it later, the players will come back kind of attitude. It's like, where are the players? They're
Yeah.
not coming back, man. They're playing Elden Ring. You know why? Because it's finished. Like, they're playing Nintendo because Nintendo doesn't release broken games, dude. Like,
Telling you, man.
don't. It's this is bad, man. This is it hurts.
Yeah, definitely. It's gosh, man, I didn't realize how bad it was until I read the article. It's oh man. I mean, we've seen other. I mean, there's another game right now too. I mean, should we even name it? I know you know it. It's continuing on the same trend. You know, it's I don't know
Yeah.
if you want to slander any more of that game, but
Are you talking about Mr. Halo Infinite? Is that what you're talking
Mr.
about?
343, yes sir.
343. Oh, okay.
It's
That one's gonna make me emotionally charged. I better not say anything. I might say something that
I mean,
they need to get it together. I would say they have less than 2 months to get it together.
definitely, I would agree.
Yeah.
They have before KC the event, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna say one thing about this. I don't want to go into depth because we can talk about this for an hour and a half. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, in the most recent update for Halo Infinite, they broke LAN. LAN doesn't work properly anymore, and there is a major tournament. I would say major because it's well known in the community. It's the Penn Halo tournament,
Oh
and
yeah,
Penn
yeah.
Halo hosts a lot of online tournaments. So there are going to be a lot of eyes on it. Maybe not that many people are going. There are going to be 14 teams confirmed, registered from a Twitter post that I saw from the organizers. That happened yesterday. So it's not major in the sense of numbers, but it's going to be major. It's going to be significant, is probably the better term to use, because people know the tournament organizers more so.
Yeah.
Like when HCS wasn't doing anything, Penn Halo was hosting Halo 3, Halo 5 tournaments,
Yeah.
right? It's like they were the only ones really keeping that kind of scene alive. And if they can't run this weekend because land's broken, and I don't think any updates are coming, that's going to be an absolute mess, man. So
Yeah.
that could, I'm not saying it's a nail in the coffin, but I'm definitely saying it's like you shot your horse a little bit. You know what I mean?
Ah, that dude, LAN is broken. That's so bad. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. That's what I
Jeez.
heard. That's what I heard. On
Yeah.
PC it is broken.
Yeah.
I can try it tonight. I got 2 Xboxes. We can find out. It
They
might be
have
worth
to.
it.
I don't know.
But back to before we get too distracted. Back to
Yeah.
Battlefield 2042. That those numbers are shocking to me.
Yeah.
Um
Definitely. I mean, one more time, we're talking, I guess, non-peak hours, quote unquote. It's 1,700 players roughly. Peak hours, it's like just 300 more. That's, I guess, closer to peak hours. Yeah, it's just PC. I mean, there's probably not. I wouldn't suspect too many people playing it on console because it is a very PC dominant game.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate to see. It's a fall from grace, if there even was a grace with this game.
Yeah.
Uh,
It had such high hopes. The trailers look good. It absolutely crushed it. I remember, like, this is the game that had the Call of Duty trailer come out, and then they came out with 2042, and everybody was like, "Yo, forget everything else." I remember being more excited for 2042 than Halo Infinite.
yeah,
And then
I
when
remember that.
2042 came out, it wasn't finished. Like I was watching streams, I was watching gameplay, and I was like, "I'm not buying this yet. I'm gonna wait until the game's done."
Yeah,
It's like it might be over a year until this game's done.
probably. I remember that too.
And
The weather effects. Remember that?
yeah,
The trailer. It's like seeing
yes,
the tornadoes. I was like, yo, I was freaking
yeah.
out.
People are there were there's a, was there 128 people in the game?
In a
Like
lobby. Yeah,
yeah, in a lobby? Like what? That's crazy.
yeah,
And
huge
I'm over here
numbers.
looking at like indie developer games like Hell Let Loose that came out back in November that does 100 people and it basically is Battlefield but in World War II. It's basically Battlefield 4 but in World War II. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, this looks better.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's an indie developer, man.
uh,
Like what?
yeah,
So yeah, these studios need to get it together. I mean,
yeah.
EA should borderline dissolve, but that's a different podcast episode.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, and again, like you said, different podcast episode, but I do think a broader discussion of like how AAA is being affected by like corporate entities and like investors, and I
Yes.
feel like that's the literal only explanation for why these games are the way they are. And so when you see an indie developer come out with this amazing game, it's like indie is the only market at this point that I think it's like you could really look forward to in a lot of aspects, like and really like expect
Yeah.
like good games out of. So
That's so crazy to say, but like I agree with that.
like I don't know, man.
That's crazy.
I really hope AAA like comes back. Who knows? I mean, game like mentioned it. We mentioned it before. Gaming is too much about the money, maybe to a certain extent at this day and age. So who knows if we'll go
Yeah.
backwards? Who knows if we'll go forwards? We can only hope that we will be
Well,
pressing onward.
if we're gonna go capitalistic, right, we got to believe that the market writes the course, right?
Yeah,
So if we just stop buying these stupid broken games and not putting up with it, they'll stop doing it.
yeah. That's the thing.
That's what it comes down to. It's like just don't play, don't buy.
Yeah,
Wait until it's finished. And then all of a sudden they're gonna realize it's like, oh yeah, you're probably right. Maybe we should start going back to like releasing Fortnite without any type of promo. Let's go back to releasing Apex Legends randomly.
yeah. Right. Just
You know what I mean?
dropping the banger of a game
Yeah.
unannounced.
Yeah, unannounced. Or keeping Valorant completely silent for years. For years.
Oh,
Letting
dude.
like streamers and content creators play it, NDAs.
Oh,
They're not
dude.
allowed to say anything.
I
You know
know.
what I mean? Like
It's like,
those games are successful.
yeah. I mean, like, and
So
it's like Valorant's it was a proven game that works. CS mother freaking go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
knew it was gonna work, and it sure enough did. Like, it's a nice fresh take on the tactical shooter genre.
Yes, it is.
Good thing. Same
It
with
is.
Apex. Apex was a fresh take on battle royales, right? Especially
Yep.
after
Yeah.
like PUBG and Fortnite, which Fortnite its own game. You know, it's point is, Mike, we need another banger. You know what I'm saying? We need
Don't get me started, man.
another banger, man.
Don't get me started. I'm already thinking about like just I might go into MMORPGs, man.
Yeah,
I might just mix it up.
dude, I don't have the time. I wish I did.
I don't have the time either, but you know what? Like,
I'm
I need
not
some excitement in my life, man.
not saying I'm trying to grind something. You know, I'm just trying to have some enjoyment. Uh,
Hey, just get WoW and drop like $200. So you'll get there. Pay to win, baby.
Pay to win. Yes. Oh, who knows,
All
man?
right.
Maybe 2042 will come back. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, in 2 years when the population's 500. Woo.
Yeah. We. Oh man, these AAA titles, Mike. I tell you, I really tell
Yeah,
you.
the
You know what?
goal.
You know what? AAA brand had just released their very own streaming platform that's been in beta for a while. Finally, 1.0.
Yeah.
Amazon,
Yep.
maybe. Amazon Luna makes the full launch to U.S. subscribers. This is coming from Owen over at Polygon. Amazon
Mr.
Luna,
Owen
the
S. Good.
Yeah, Amazon Luna, the retail behemoth cloud gaming service, which was launched early access in October 2020, is now available everywhere in the mainland United States. They're offering a la carte subscriptions to 5 different channels. Amazon Prime members get access to a monthly rotation of games included with that subscription. So if you are an Amazon Prime member, you can log on to Amazon right now, go on browser. You can see the games that are offered for March. I know there's a lot of primers out there. So I would certainly go give it a shot. You can play these games in browser, see if Luna's a good service. I haven't tried it myself, unfortunately, but I do plan to at some point this weekend. And kind of give. I'd love to kind of maybe Mike, if you, I'm pretty sure you have Amazon Prime, right?
Yes, I do.
Hmm.
I have. Yes, yeah, I have
Yeah,
access to 2 accounts. Luckily,
nice.
I was watching Prime Video. I believe it was last night, and so I have the Fire Stick, like streaming device, and I use that to watch pretty much everything on my home TV, or the what's it called, entertainment room, right,
Yeah,
living room, and I'm getting hit with tons of ads on like Luna, and I was like, "That's kind of weird. I didn't know it was out yet." And then, sure enough, it's like, "Yeah, it actually is out." And to go off, it's like they're starting with games like Devil May Cry 5. They got was this Immortals Phoenix Rising. I
yeah,
think one of one of the very underrated games that would entice some people is the Jackbox games. Have you ever played Jackbox?
yep. I have.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jackbox for anybody that doesn't know is a game that you can play on your phone or mobile device or like tablet or whatever, but you do it in the living room and you use your TV or your game like console or PC or whatever as the host, right? So it's like an interactive game that you can use and the controller could be your phone and you can log in with like a web browser. It's really cool, right? They have like they don't have something as simple as Hangman, but they do have like murder mystery games. They
Yeah,
have trivia games. And it's like it's pretty cool. It's like it's a good fun party game, I
definitely.
think.
Yeah, one of the best, I'd
So
say.
yeah, for sure. And the cool thing about it is it comes out with like apparently all 8 of them, which is pretty awesome.
That
And
is
the next one's
actually
coming out in
nice.
2022. Yeah, those games normally are going for like 10 to 15 a piece, and the new one's like $30, 30 or 40.
Yeah,
So I remember buying those for my friends like during the whole pandemic thing and like streaming through Discord and like using what was it? Like Facebook Messenger, and
yeah,
we're all playing like that way and use like it was pretty cool.
right.
And it like kept us all together too.
Yeah, for sure.
So definitely much cooler when everybody's in the same room.
Yeah.
Um
Definitely,
mhm.
definitely. A little more detail about the subscription services. So there's again like 5 separate quote unquote channels you can get. There's Luna Plus at $10 a month, the Family Channel at $6 a month, the Retro and Jackbox game channels at $5 a month. as you were just mentioning with Jackbox. And the Ubisoft Plus via Amazon Luna. That's the most expensive package at $18 a month. That includes it says also in the article it's the same price as Google Stadia customers, how much they're paying for that service. But it includes, I'm assuming, everything in Ubisoft Plus's library on a streaming service. So could be a good deal if you're into those Ubisoft games. There's certainly a lot to offer there. Of course, with Prime, if you don't pay any of those services, you still get a few games a month to play and try out, which is always cool. So you don't necessarily have to buy those services unless there's some games that you like. Another side note I saw that was really interesting is that if you were an early access subscriber of Luna, you can actually lock in grandfathered prices. So it's $6 for Luna Plus as opposed to $10, and then $3 for the family channel as opposed to $6, I believe. So it's always cool to see subscription services pay homage to the early adopters and the people willing to put forth some early investment. And Amazon has certainly taken note of that. It's cool to see.
Yep.
Some of the Prime games also available that are debuting. If you want to go to the Prime Gaming channel on Luna, as Mike said, Devil May Cry 5, Observer, System Redux, and Fogs. I guess that is. I don't know. And Flashback.
Yeah.
Certain games. Also, Immortals Phoenix Rising from March 8th to 14th. You can play that game. Jackbox Game Channel offers access to all 8 Jackbox Party Packs launched since 2014, and 9th due to launch later this year, as you mentioned. So yeah, a lot here to offer. I would suggest if you have Amazon Prime, definitely go take a look at some of the libraries. They let you see what's available on each subscription. Take a look at it if it's something you like. I am, like I said, I do want to try the Prime Gaming Channel, try some of those games over the weekend. Mike, if you want to do the same and we can maybe do a short review of some sort next week, I'd be interested.
Let's give it a go. And we should try this the Luna controller app. So what kind of phone do you have? Because this is an app that you can get on iOS or Android.
Yeah, I have an iPhone 8 Plus. So
okay, I have an LG V40, which is the second or third last generation of LG phones. They no longer make them.
Yeah.
So that should be a good test for anybody that has an older phone on Android.
Yeah,
And then you got the iOS, and the iOS is like they keep their stuff together.
Yeah, I mean, I do have it is an iPhone 8 Plus, so it's, I guess, what, 4 generations back now. So it'd be a good test of see if the older phones hold up. This is this is a phone with the home button still, and that hasn't been around since the iPhone 10. So we're on 13 now, almost 14. So definitely a few generations back. I would definitely give that a shot. Try that out. It says the service supports Xbox One and PlayStation 4 DualShock 4 gamepads. It also offers a proprietary dual analog Luna controller for $50 right now. I believe it's actually on sale for $50 since to kind of celebrate the launch. But the controller looks pretty nice from what I saw. I don't have an image on hand, but it looks like your standard kind of almost, I guess, I think it kind of reminds me of like a Switch Pro controller almost. The way that it looks. So
yeah, it looks I'm pulling it up right now, and this is a pretty good image. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
it reminds me of, so when you open this up, just scroll down. It's the actual website. It's the loading page.
All right. So
it reminds me of the certified third party Nintendo Switch controllers. Pretty similar. It looks about the same size too, and it also might be a little bit of my nostalgia because there's actually Sonic in the background. But it looks nice.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's worth a shot.
I don't have it showing in the Discord, Mike, but it's showing. I have a screen cap on OBS, so I'm showing the controller now. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a pretty standard controller. Nothing too crazy. No design that would turn people away. That's for sure.
Yeah, it
seems pretty
pretty standard.
Yeah, it's got a 3.5 millimeter jack at the bottom. It looks like too. But yeah, it looks like your standard controller. Nothing crazy there. As you can see, here's all the subscription services as well that were mentioned: Luna Plus, Family, and it says even here, I believe you can lock in founder price still to the end of the month. I'm assuming. So you can even get those early prices for Luna Plus, and the retro pack, Prime Gaming, of course, included with your Prime subscription. I've actually taken a look at the Ubisoft Plus library. It's got some, certainly if you like any of those games, it may be worth, trying it out for a month or, a week or something, however their free option is. You see if it's something interesting, worth your time. But yeah, definitely some cool stuff. Here's the showcasing the Prime games as well, as mentioned before. Oh yeah, Fogs is the I guess it's a 2-player dog game, the kids game. I've seen that before.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, where you're, I guess, the long. It reminds me of what was the old cartoon? Oh, I can't think of the name. Darn it.
cat dog.
Cat dog, yeah, but minus the cat.
Yeah,
Huh. Oh, good stuff. Um. So yeah, Luna
good
is
time to be
out.
a gamer.
Yeah, great time to be a gamer. Luna is out. Give it a try, especially for a Prime member. It's absolutely free. So
Yeah,
for a few
free games. So it's at least worth it.
Yeah.
At least worth checking it out. Download it real quick, give it a go, and you don't actually have to buy the Luna controller. Like you said, you can use the Xbox One or the PS4 DualShock 4.
Yep.
Um,
Out of the box.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I know I've tried as well. Google Stadia. I tried to think a game out on that service a while ago. And I noticed a little bit of input delay, but it was definitely playable on certain games. So
Yeah.
I'll be curious to try out Luna. I'm definitely gonna do that this weekend. See if what the input delay looks like and if games are playable. So find out soon enough. Check it out, Amazon Luna. The last story, Mike.
Here we go.
We want to get into a little bit of drama. It's been a while, I feel like, since we've had a little bit of drama to discuss. This is certainly, I think, some serious drama. I don't think it's like, for most people, it's probably not going to be like, whoa, like this is crazy, crazy. But if you haven't been aware, over the past week, Artesian Builds, a PC building company that's partnered with many small creators as well as big creators, as the article states here on GG Recon. Nick Merckx is one of their biggest partners. They essentially partner with them to build PCs, and they essentially did a giveaway on a stream very recently to they were giving out PC builds to any of their partners, their I guess affiliates, their smaller streamers, and they were going through a list on stream as they were building PC. They were talking, and one streamer came up, Kia. I'm just gonna call her Kia. I believe I'm saying that right. She essentially was picked to receive one of these PCs, but then the people running the stream said essentially midstream that you ain't got enough clout, so we ain't gonna send you one. And it's like, this is someone who's one of their, I guess, smaller ambassadors, just straight up said, yeah, yikes, you don't have enough followers, yeah, it's not happening. And then streamer took to Twitter, expressed her concerns, and which I think were completely justified. And so
Absolutely.
And so it was very messed up what they did. If you're doing a giveaway and you're just gonna immediately change the rules and try and deny someone because they ain't got enough clout, although you are affiliated with them, which is very odd, they decided to just not give her a PC. Very weird energy, I think, coming from Artesian Builds. And so much so that this has made waves throughout any and all associated streamers that are with the company. Nick Merckx, being probably the biggest name, has partnered with them for a while. He recently said on stream today, I believe, March 2nd, that their team is essentially reconsidering their partnership with the company. They've been looking into, I guess, everything with the allegations and what's been going on, and they're gonna, I guess, make a decision at some point if they want to stick with them or not. However, another big organization, OTK, the organization that has Mizkif leading the helm, along with I believe Asmongold and Sven, that company has broken ties officially with Artesian Builds. They said, it doesn't support anything that they're about, and they are completely, ties have been cut entirely with them. So they have left. Who knows if Nick Merckx is to follow? I know there's been other creators, of course, speaking out about everything. And we even saw tweets earlier this week from Jay's 2 Cents, the tech YouTuber who builds all sorts of PCs. He reached out to Kia directly on Twitter and offered to build her a top of the line rig and give it to her completely free because he wanted to make what they did right. Which good guy Jay, huh? Like
Good guy Jay, man. I love him.
absolutely love him. Like, and that just shows the type of person he is to offer something like that. And if I want a PC built by anybody, it's either Linus Tech Tips or Jay's 2 Cents. Like one of those two.
I was gonna say, I know one other person that I would want it from, and it's a guy that runs a studio called Designed by IFR. I think he's Australian. This man does custom made PCs, but they take months for him to do. So if anybody's on YouTube, type in Designed by IFR or something like that, and then type in Aussie afterwards, you'll find him. And this man is a crazy nut when he's building these PCs. I mean, like top of the line equipment goes way over the top.
Yeah.
But Jay's 2 Cents is a better known person, and Linus Tech Tips, obviously one of the biggest names in tech. So that would be amazing. Like something else to note, maybe you didn't know this. I came across it on Twitter when her tweet, obviously, it went viral. We can kind of infer that because of all the affiliates of Artesian Builds has basically come out saying we ain't about this life. Her tweet went viral, and she went from having like less than 1,000, maybe 1,000 followers on Twitter, and went well over 10,000 now. I'm pretty sure last I saw her, she said 7,500, and that was within like the first 24 hours of that tweet. And this is before these types of articles were written, like by Polygon or by anybody. So as they keep going, she's not going to be that small streamer anymore.
Yeah, no.
So,
see that, and that's kind of
Jay's 2 Cents video coming out. That's going to get 1 million hits, man.
Yeah, like that's the type of irony that comes out of these situations, right? It's like when you treat a small creator like this, or you try to invalidate, I guess, their work and everything. It's these type of things happen, and it's deserved, It's it's absolutely crazy, and her career's probably changed forever because of this, for a positive way. Like it's
absolutely, she has such a huge opportunity on her hands, and I hope she grasps it.
Yeah, definitely. I hope the same, man. But yeah, I mean, like, come on, man. It's like, I don't know why a company's got to act like this, So,
yeah, I think it's probably just some dude that's like the showrunner or something like that. It couldn't have been the owner, right? Why would an owner do that? At least they're a little bit more conscious when it comes to branding.
Yeah.
So I'm making assumptions here. We need to do a little bit more research on who actually said it, but it's dumb. It's dumb.
I do know the person that did say it, and I believe this article states it at some point. He did issue an apology on Twitter, I believe, kind of reversing and pulling back what he said, and realizing he'd messed up.
Yeah, the internet's not very forgiving. So.
Yeah, I guess Katz was the guy here. Yeah, he went to Twitter apologizing for the stream, along with a personal video, admitting that he shouldn't have glossed over small streamers. In a written statement, he stated, "I will commit my full attention to create a new guideline that will reflect on Artesian Builds values and fully support all of our viewers and customers." And that was, I guess, somewhat around the time that Nick Merck said that he said, quote, "Very simply put, I don't like it, nor do I want to support that." It's very weird. So it's they are getting a lot of flack for this, and I don't think necessarily the company's gonna go under, but they're definitely taking a huge hit by this. Crazy stuff, man.
Yikes.
Yeah. Nothing but yikes,
Yikers.
Yikers, if you will. Whatever yikes emote you got, this applies. So,
Jeez, man.
This is
he is the CEO. The CEO said it. Oh no!
Twitch streamer shared the latest stream, which the team, including CEO Katz, hosted a prize giveaway. So I'm assuming, I don't know if the guy actually building it was a CEO. I doubt it. Or the guy on the left who actually said it was CEO, but he was definitely involved at some point, right?
Yeah, if the CEO is in the room when that happens and he doesn't correct it immediately, it's like that's
Oh,
That's your
no.
brand. You know, that's marketing 101, man. Like,
Oh.
what are you doing?
So is this
Ugh.
Chick-fil-A ad on this site. That's also marketing, making me very hungry.
Targeted ads, baby. You got to use that incognito mode.
I know. This actually is
I'm
too, and it's just ads all over the place.
I'm getting ads for Elden Ring, which we need to play because that thing is popping off and it's turning heads. So
Thanks. I know
yeah.
it sounds like it's a good starter too if you're trying to get into the Soulsy
Mhm.
stuff. So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I may have to pull the trigger soon on that. You're right. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to watch a little bit more gameplay. There's what I gotta watch a couple more YouTube videos of Summit because Summit and I like the same types of games. So if this man turned around and said that he's about that life, then I might be too. So
Yeah. Yeah, no,
we'll see.
that was the biggest thing too, because he was very frustrated at the beginning. Why is this open
Yes,
world?
he was.
Why is like there's no it's not blocking my path? Like why am I fighting this enemy? Like what's the point? But it's like
Hmm.
you do have to remember those games are solely meant as a challenge that you are supposed to overcome, and it feels really good when you do. And I can attest to that from Star Wars, that Star Wars game that came out, single player game by EA. I always forget
uh,
the name of it. Force Away? No, no.
no,
Wait,
Force Unleashed is what you're thinking, and The Force Awakens is the movie.
that's the movie. Yeah,
Uh,
Jedi
uh,
Fallen Order. Why do I
Fallen
always mess
Order,
that up?
yeah,
I always mess that up.
Fallen Order.
But
Yep.
yeah, so that yeah, I can attest to because I played that game. You beat something, you spend 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours on a boss, and you finally beat it. It's like yes, like you're just into it, man.
Yeah.
You're hooked. So that is what those games are about. And I think he realized that because, like you said, he tweeted and said he's turned around on Elden Ring and he really likes the game.
Yeah, he
So
did. Yeah, you sent me the tweet, and I was just like, "All right, okay." I mean, like, I already thought he just wasn't used to that style of game,
yeah,
so I was like, whatever." And Asmongold went back and played World of Warcraft, and he was like, "This is awful." He's like, "I'm never playing again," kind of attitude.
uh,
So, obviously, it's a hit for him. It's a hit overall. It's like the highest rated game I've seen in a long time since the Breath of the Wild.
yeah.
Um, whether or not I
It's-
will personally like it, though, I don't know. So I'm thinking that might be the next game, dude.
Might be, man. Definitely try it out.
Yeah.
Definitely trying out Luna though this weekend for sure. I'm trying it
Yeah,
out.
we need to do that more than anything.
So yeah,
Um,
sure.
we'll find some multiplayer games. There's got to be at least one out of those 5, I think, that are around there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll check it out.
Fogs, I think, is definitely a 2 player game. So
Dude,
you
I
can
will
try
mess you up in
that.
some cat dog non-cat.
I think you have to work together in that game. I think it's like a
Oh,
team.
that's even
It's
better with
yeah,
latency. That's the ultimate test. Yeah.
it's like a
Yeah,
it takes two test right there.
yeah, that
Um,
could be a lot of fun.
yeah. Anyways,
Maybe
that's
we
all
should
the
stream it. Yeah.
maybe good stream game. Uh,
Yeah.
anyways, that's all the articles I had this week, Mike. That's it. Wrap it.
Yeah. I think it's a good week. Kept it kind of simple, you know? Like
Yeah.
there wasn't too much stuff going on. The drama is kind of it was a thing, but overall, I think it was a good week. I'm looking forward to next week. We have it is actually March 2nd. Let me see. We might need to edit this. Let's see if we have any new upcoming
Oh,
games.
it is. Yeah, March has started, ladies and gentlemen.
March
Crazy, crazy.
2nd. Okay, I'm gonna go off the cuff. I have not looked at this yet. Okay, so I'm gonna say the games that come out right off the top. All right. So probably the biggest name on this list is PlayStation 4 or 5. Gran Turismo is coming out in 2 days of this recording on Friday, March 4th. There is WWE 2K22 coming out. Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming out to PS5. Let's see here. You're gonna have to forgive me because I'm trying to go quickly without boring anybody. Crusaders Kings 3. Moving on into the Nintendo Switch games, we got looks like not too much. They're a good handful of games, none that I actually recognize, so I don't want to. I guess Kirby and the Forgotten Land coming out March 25th. Kirby franchises are usually a hit. There's The Cruel King and The Great Hero, which I have heard about, not enough to actually speak on. That's coming out March 15th. And scrolling down, Xbox Series X and S, we have more WWE 2K22. There's Far Changing Tides that came out yesterday. WWE again comes out March 11th. Monster Energy Supercross 5, which is a motocross game, is March 17th. Crusader Kings 3 is coming out on the 29th as well. And there are plenty of games coming out in the following months. For PC, we have basically the same set of games. I think that's really it. Death Stranding Director's Cut is coming out.
Yeah.
Starship Troopers sounds interesting. Uh, have you heard of? Have you watched Starship
I don't think
Troopers?
so. I don't think.
Oh man, that is a treat. It gets better with time. Let me tell you. Uh, I'm not going to say anything more than that. Just go watch, and then you can definitely comment on it later. You could probably watch for free on YouTube. Uh, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We're gonna actually have the full list, and this list is actually incorrect because they have Tunic on March 1st and 16th, so it can only be one.
Nice.
Uh, we are going to post the entirety of all the released games for March into the Discord. So if you guys want to find it, check any of the links where you're listening to us right now and hit that Discord link. You might have to copy and paste or whatever you got to do, but it's totally worth it. You can hit us
Definitely.
up there as well.
Hit up the
So,
cord. I think the biggest game this month, I completely forgot the Switch is getting the Kirby game, and that's like I think a pretty. It's definitely the next mainline Kirby game. It's looks fun.
oh yeah,
So
it's been a while since we've had a good Kirby game, and I think next week we'll be able to definitively cross off a lot of these games that we're really interested in. I think.
oh yeah,
Um, yeah,
for sure.
just plenty of upcoming games that I'm really interested in, like Perfect Dark. I want to know what that's about. That's in the coming year, like the coming year, not this month. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Watch it just drop. But yeah. Anyways, that is episode 8 of the M2 podcast. I'm your host, Mad Mike, Mr. J.K. Heath.
That's me.
Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you, and have a good one.
Peace, everyone.